Projectile motion down on an inclined plane. In this video, we are going to discuss the derivation of formulas with respect to the topic projectile motion down on an inclined plane. Before getting into the derivation part, we should be familiar about these three equations, which are from the topic rectilinear motion. Okay, just to know these three formulas. One of our video concentrates on these three formulas. Okay, if you want to know about that, you can refer that video. Now let us move into the derivation part. Just imagine a horizontal line like this and an inclined plane like this having an angle of beta with respect to the horizontal plane. So next step, just imagine a particle or a ball or a projectile is projected like this with an initial velocity of u having an angle of alpha with respect to the inclined plane like this. As a ball is projected, it takes the path like this. Its path is like this as shown in figure. Generally we used to have a coordinate system like this to define the horizontal direction and vertical direction. Since our derivation part concentrates on this inclined plane, we need to define a convenient coordinate system. Okay, so as to define that, I am taking the coordinate system like this, that is x coordinate system parallel to the inclined plane and y coordinate system perpendicular to the inclined plane. So just ignoring our usually represented coordinate system and keeping the newly created coordinate system. The first one is time taken by the projectile, that is the time taken by the projectile to travel from this point to this point. I am taking this the third formula which defines the time with respect to initial velocity and the distance. First I am substituting 0 in the case of s, that is the distance s. As a particle reaches this point, the distance between the particle and the inclined plane becomes 0, and hence I am substituting 0 here. The next step has to be with respect to u. Here u is generally given with respect to some angle, but this has to be resolved into horizontal and vertical with respect to this coordinate system. And resolving that, we have a horizontal component and vertical component which is with respect to this one. And we can define the horizontal component like this with respect to cos, since cos defines the adjacent side to hypotenuse side. Here this side is adjacent to the alpha, hence I am utilizing the cos term here. Similarly, we can define the vertical component like this because sine defines the opposite side to hypotenuse side. Here this component is opposite to the angle alpha. As a next step, I am utilizing this u sine alpha here instead of u, because this particle is moving in the vertical direction, and hence I am utilizing the vertical component and not the horizontal component. And the next step, instead of this small t, I am substituting the capital T. Capital T, I am taking here the time taken by the particle to move from this position to this position. Plus half, the next step is acceleration. Here acceleration due to gravity plays a main role, since I am taking the g instead of a here. So g can be drawn like this. Resolving the gravity like this can be useful, but in order to resolve into vertical and horizontal components, we need the angle here, but right now we don't know the angle. So as a preliminary step, we need to calculate that angle, then only we can resolve this, and then we can get into this a part. So right now we can consider this right angle triangle as a first step to find out this angle, unknown angle, question mark. So just imagine this right angle triangle. The convenient of the right angle triangle is you will have a 90 degree in one position, and if you know one angle means by subtracting that angle, that is this beta, from 90 degree we can find the unknown angle here. So in that way we found this angle is 90 minus beta, that is 90 minus beta will be this angle. So you can see here is also an right angle triangle. So we can find the angle here. So you can see the right angle triangle here. So here we have 90 degree. Here we know the angle. By subtracting this angle from this 90 degree, we can find this angle. That is 90 minus of 90 minus beta. And plus 90 and minus 90 will be getting cancelled. So we will have the angle beta here. So now we know the angle. So it is easy for us to resolve the gravity G with respect to this side and this side, that is vertical component and horizontal component. And I am taking this vertical component into consideration. As previously I have told that our particle is moving in the vertical direction, and hence I am taking the vertical component here. Why I am introducing the negative sign means our coordinate system defines in this direction as a positive one, and here you can see the G cos beta is towards this direction, which is against this direction. Hence I am introducing the negative sign. Of course, we know, we have already mentioned that instead of small t we are using capital T. So with certain modifications we get the time taken by the particle. I am placing this formula here so that it can be used in the future or in the next derivation part. The next one is range. Range means this distance from the point C to here, that is how much distance the particle traveled. In order to define that, I am drawing an imaginary line like this, that is a horizontal line which is parallel to the horizontal line which is present in the bottom, and this will also have the angle beta, because this inclined plane with an horizontal line is beta, means it will be having the same angle with any horizontal line. In that respect, I am defining this angle as beta and drawing a right angle triangle like this so that we can clearly define the range. So this horizontal line, I am naming it as A and B. So taking the cos, we can define AB to the range which we need here, that is R. Modifying, that is taking R here and cos beta here, we can write the next step like this. So in order to find the R, we need to know AB. So we are going to find out the AB here. As a general case, we can define the distance as velocity into time. We can verify it through the units. That is, distance will be having the unit meter, and velocity, of course, meters per second, and time a second. So in this case, S and S will be getting cancelled, and finally left hand side and right hand side will be having the units meter. So logically the formula gets okay. With that assurance, we can go to the next step. So here the distance is AB, this AB which is needed here. So we are now going to derive that. So in order to do that, I am going for an horizontal line because we need velocity here. Velocity is present here, but it does not have any specific reference with respect to horizontal. It is having an alpha here, but it is with respect to the inclined plane. Now I am defining this angle to be beta. How I can define this angle as beta means, just imagine Z like this, a mirror form of Z like this, and having a right angle triangle created like this. That is, here we have 90 degree. And if you know this angle means, it is easier for us to calculate the angle here as previously mentioned, which will be equal to 90 degree minus 10, that is 80 degree. And hence this is a horizontal line and this is a pure vertical line, and in between it will have 90 degree. So when it is 90 degree, we can calculate this angle, that is 90 minus 80, it will give the angle of 10 degree. That is 90 minus 80 is equal to 10 degree. Finally, we come to know that a shape like this can have the same angle in the opposite corners, that is 10 degree here and 10 degree here. And getting back to our original diagram, we can see this is like a Z form. Since we have the angle beta here also, we will be having the angle beta. Now as a next step, we need to find out this angle, that is with respect to the horizontal. As we already know, this is alpha and newly created beta. This angle will be equal to alpha minus beta. So alpha minus beta. As the next step, we are going to resolve the u with respect to this angle alpha minus beta. That is horizontal component. Next, vertical component. Horizontal component is u cos alpha minus beta, since this is adjacent side to the angle alpha minus beta, and we will be having u sin alpha minus beta, which is opposite side to the angle alpha minus beta. And I am utilizing u cos alpha minus beta here, since the distance AB is with respect to horizontal, so I am utilizing the horizontal component of this and not the sin alpha minus beta. And of course, time we already defined as capital T. In previous derivation part, we have derived that also. Introducing that T here, we get the AB as like this. So finally, we have arrived what is AB. Now introducing AB to this equation, that is R, we get like this. And after simplification, we get the R value like this, which is our need. As coming to the end, we have derived two different formulas, one for time taken by the flight and next one for the range R. With this, we come to the end of our video. Okay, thank you.